Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlene. Thanks for wandering by. Today's video is decks that have a summer vibe. So summer vibe decks. It is super timely because we are at the beginning of the summer season here in the Northern Hemisphere. However, I live in a place where it is summer pretty much year round. So I live in a tropical climate, and it is always hot, always sunny. It is a very, a very near and dear type of season to my heart, but it's fun when the rest of the country is sort of feeling those hot summer vibes as well, because that's kind of like how we roll in my area year round. So what I did is I grabbed a bunch of different tarot and oracle decks from my collection that feel in alignment with this particular energy at this time of year. So this is, for folks in the Northern Hemisphere, but it's also, it's seasonal, obviously, but like I said, I don't experience other seasons really other than like spring and summer. It's kind of like the only vibe we get. So but I associate summer more with like my job, with my child, with things like that. And from childhood, summer is vacation. And I grew up going to the beach every summer. That's what my family did. We took a beach vacation every single summer growing up. And summer is, summer vacation from school. I've been an educator for a really long time. So that used to be my vacation time as well. And not anymore. But anyway, so summer is like busy and there's lots of things going on. There's visitors and vacation and there's plans and trips and there's a lot of things happening in the summer. It just feels vibrant and full of energy. And so with that, I grabbed decks that kind of have that, are in keeping with that particular energy. So even though they feel like summer, it's a vibe that I think could also be used, worked with year round as one could do depending on where you live. Okay, enough of rambling. I'm going to just go ahead and in no particular order get into it. So away we go. Okay, first we have the When My Soul Whispered Oracle deck. So the When My Soul Whispered Oracle deck it's a little animal oracle. This is mass market. In the summertime, I feel the animal energy, animal spirit, like way more, I think, than any time of year. So it feels, just like filled with movement and motion and, squirrels just running all around and, and the birds. Oh my gosh, the birds in the summer where I live, it's like non-stop sound all over the place. Just so much birds singing and noise. And the water birds and things like that we have around, as well as, the little land creatures and the lizards and because that's what I got going on here. Lizards and geckos. And they're here year round, but like, they're just the energy of animals just feels like it is just so potent at this time of year. So, and I didn't bring out all my animal decks. I grabbed this one. It's an animal oracle. So it is mass market. Like I said, it's a little teeny guy and it has this matte, edging. And it's just like one of my favorite types of decks. I've shown it before because it has just one keyword. One keyword is my jam. It also has some relationship to chakras, I think, here. There are plants too, other things, but it has, animals as well. Plants, flowers, and animals. Yeah, see, I love this hummingbird with the boundaries. So it's like, for me, it just feels like with this watercolor way, it's just, look at the sunflower. it feels summery. It's got that light summery energetic vibe. Look at that. I love that ladybug. The sun, you know, it just, for me, one of those decks that feels very much in keeping with the energy at this particular time of year. Look at the seashell. Perfect. That's perfect. So yeah, so that is the When My Soul Whispered Oracle deck. So another deck that I grabbed is a little tarot in a tin, the Zylic Tarot, which is I grabbed a couple of little travel decks because these are travel decks to me when they're small and in tins, small and or in tins, because summer is about vacation. So it's about traveling. It's about trips for lots of folks. And this one is a Thoth Tarot. And I just don't use this deck enough. I think I'm going to try to, you know, stick it in my bag and take it with me places. But when I have used it, it's been like a wonderful deck. It's Thoth based and it's these watercolors. It's gorgeous. Like, I love this deck. Why aren't I using this deck more? I may or may not use these decks here coming up in the summer, but like this deck just really, I don't know, something about the colors, it's a little bit moody, which, you know, summer can be moody too. It doesn't have to be all like super, you know, jubilant and joyful, and, you know, just because you're in the sun doesn't mean that you're always having a good time. It's a little bit moody summer. And these decks, I would say, are more like beginning of summer energy, because there's definitely a end of the summer vibe when it's like time to get ready to go back to school and that kind of thing. End of the vacation vibes. So yeah, this feels much more like beginning of summer. Everything is new. There's possibilities abounding. And yeah, it just reminds me of that time as a child that feels like, you know, super, super summery, super summer vibes. The Zylic Tarot. Gosh, I think I'm gonna put this in my bag like right now after I finish making this. Look at that, the Three of Wands. Ugh, I love it. This is such a good one. Such a good deck. I wish I had a large version of it. I don't know if there even such a thing exists anymore. Okay, so the Zylic Tarot. So here's another wee baby travel deck. That's the pocket edition of the Ashira Tarot by Sarah Wheatley. I haven't said the names of anybody else, except that the Zylic Tarot is created by Christine Zylic. So I guess that worked. In any case, this is the Ashira Tarot. All right, so if you want to talk about a wee baby deck, that is super vibrant and colorful, then here's your deck. It's a Thoth-inspired tarot. I have had this one in my bag, and I have used it on the go, and I feel like I'm going to continue that trend. I can't pull too many of these cards because there's a lot going on. It's super busy, and that's why it feels like, I mean, it could, you know, obviously be a year-round deck. It's gorgeous, but just something about the like busyness and the energy of this that's like so full. Like there's not a space on this card that's not like utilized. It's just full. And that's what, you know, that's what summer can feel like, you know, summer days. Full of activity, full of energy. That sun card is the faces in the celestials, whenever some people do that in the cards, just, it's almost always funny. It's almost always something kind of weird, something kind of creepy. I find it amusing. So yeah, so this is a great summer vibe deck because it is so vibrant, busy, active. Oh, 2 cups, love it. Yeah, so that is the Ashira Tarot. Okay, so here we have the Goblins and Gardens tarot deck. This deck has gotten a lot of love across the tarot tubes recently. And I'm not sure if it's out of stock or not. I will, like I always do, leave links for everything that I'm talking about in the description box below in case you're interested in trying to find it. But yeah, I'll look it up, you know, and I'll put in the description box what the status is for this deck. It just, I think it recently just got like exploded. Although I think it's been around for a minute. So here are the backs. The backs are not my favorite thing. I do love this type of gilding. It's my favorite. It just feels so nice. The linen cardstock, this is a delight to shuffle. It's a delight to work with. It is what it says on the box. It's Goblins and Gardens. It is a collage deck that takes pictures from D&D books, Dungeons and Dragons books, and collages it with garden books, magazines. Look at that full card. That's what's on the cover. It's amazing. This is a delight. It is so fun and funny, but it's serious working tarot deck for me too, because I used it a couple of months ago for my monthly medicine with Don Michelle's membership. And it was a beautiful deck to work with, but it had things to say. And the landscape of this is just perfect for the summer. You know, we've got the veggies, we've got the fruits, we've got the flowers, and then we've got the little creatures there as well. So it's just, it's fantasy vibes, it's summery vibes, it's outdoorsy, it's funny. Oh my God, this is probably my favorite card in the whole deck. This little devil inside this basket of strawberries. It's, strawberry season. So I'm like, right now, berries are like the number one thing. So yeah, absolutely couldn't not show this deck as a total summer vibe deck. Look at that Medusa among the wildflowers. Is that not the best thing ever for the Six of Wands? Love it so much. So yeah, that is one of my faves, the Goblins and Gardens tarot deck. Okay, here we have another oracle deck, and this is the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Linn. One of my favorite oracle decks of all time, total workhorse oracle deck, but it gives me summer vibes. And maybe it's just the backs, maybe it's just the backs of this deck, but it's also the whole vibe of it. It has a little bit of like an earthy, celestial thing going on, but obviously we've got the beach here. We have the ocean. And then, I don't know, there's just a lot about it that feels in keeping with things that feel familiar to me in a like tropical way, a tropical vacation. I don't know. Gosh, these are gonna be all upside down and which way. I love this type of oracle deck because it has the one key word. That's my favorite. So I love a one keyword. Look at these water birds. Like this looks like my area. It absolutely does. I just love it. Yeah, this deck is amazing. Is that not summer vibes? Not everything, I don't know, maybe it's like the white border, just something about it. Solitude. That feels very much like the summer too, because we also get, I'm sorry about the cards being all turned around. We also get lots of thunderstorms in the summer. Oh my gosh, Lennon did a amazing video just recently about the thunderstorms in the summer. I'll link to that below. But yeah, we get lots of thunderstorms in the summer. It's just the way things go. Look at that. I love that so much. Yeah, this deck is more peaceful, but it just totally gives me beachy summer, that kind of like mellow summer vibe, that kind of earthy, kind of tropical, kind of a way. I don't know. That's just how it makes me feel. Even though we've got like, obviously we've got like autumn and other seasons represented here and other landscapes and climates, I just feel connected to this in a very beachy, very kind of summer way. So that is the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn. Okay, I had to do it, you guys. It's my Tree Spirit Tarot in a bag made by the lovely, wonderful Dawn Michelle. Yeah, I show this deck all the time. I talk about this deck all the time. You might be tired of hearing me talk about this deck, but I'm not tired of talking about this deck because I love it. The tree spirit is, you know, it's timeless, it's year round, but in the summer especially, I feel connected to all of the trees around me. The citrus trees, the avocado trees that we have, like the magnolias that when they bloom, you know, there's just like so much. Lime trees, lemon, I mean, but this deck is, as you may know, one of my absolute favorite tarot decks. I just featured it on my only 10 indie decks. And there's something so amazing to me about these photographs of trees. Persimmons I don't have here. These photographs of trees with the title of the tree and this keyword that is like luscious. I don't know. We don't have apple trees down here. Too hot. Banyans for sure. But we just feel connected. Here we go. Magnolia, independence. Ugh, that's so good for magnolia. And so good for the Earth Keeper of Hardwoods. Yeah, so this is the Queen of Swords. So good. Everything about it. Love it. Very summer. Always summer. Oh, I have these upside down backwards. Cherries, yeah. Mangoes all year round here. All year round mangoes. So, but especially summer, you know, like sitting on the beach in the summer, eating mangoes is like perfection. Perfection. This is such a good 8 of Cups. That's what this is. Journey. Love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, tree energy for sure feels extra special and potent in the summertime. So that is the Tree Spirit Tarot. So here's another oracle deck that feels very appropriate for the summer season, is the Language of Flowers Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy. This deck is so versatile and multi-purpose for me. I use this deck a lot year round for creative writing, and if you haven't seen, I have featured it a few times in different creative writing activities and tarot spreads that I have done, because it is, again, my favorite type of oracle deck that has one keyword. Here are the backs. I've edged mine in this like violet purple to match the backs. This deck it's vibrant. I mean, it's full of like growth energy because it is the language of the flowers, but it is a little bit moody. This art style might not be for everyone, but I really like it. It makes me feel like it's that special filter. I don't know, that you turn everything into like a little bit of it, you know, like a photo that you turned into a drawing. And I like that. I really enjoy the keywords. I love the colors in here. It feels like, it feels lively and moody at the same time. That's how this feels. And that it feels like a music festival kind of vibe, right? So lively and moody at the same time. You know, like music festival, like summer music festivals can feel. This is so cool. Yeah, devotion for the red rose. I really enjoy it for everything year round. I think you can use it, but like in the summer, I think flowers have a special feeling of newness and, you know, blooming, and like everything that the metaphor of something blooming and the smells and the colors, what all that can do to your your own personal narrative, which is what I feel like I'm doing constantly when I'm reading my own tarot and oracle cards, is that I am adding adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, but I am weaving and learning about my own personal narrative. And so the language of the flowers oracle is a great one for that, as well as a good summertime deck. Okay, I had to feature the Mermaid Tarot in a summer vibes video. The Mermaid Tarot, this is a Llewellyn kit, Lisa Robertson, illustrated by Julie Dillon. I sometimes say the names, I sometimes don't say the names. So, the Mermaid Tarot. Okay, I have feelings about Mermaid Tarot decks. This is the one that I have. I don't have any others. So far, I mean, this has been a wonderful, working, functioning tarot deck for me. It's not all and everything that I want in a mermaid tarot. I have like an idea of what I would want a mermaid tarot deck to be. I know that there's the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot, and that's not it either. There are mermaids in the Stunning Tarot, and they're close, but that's not it either. So like I told you, I grew up going to the beach. I grew up with pools, and I grew up going to the beach every summer. And I used to always play mermaid. Like, mermaids was our number one game in the water, right? We were always mermaids. And I was a mermaid, you know. I mean, the movie Splash was a big deal. I don't know, I'm old, you guys. So that Daryl Hannah, Tom Hanks movie Splash, where, you know, about the mermaid. Anyway, that was a big deal to me. Like, I would always play that if any water splashed on my legs, that I would fall to the floor because I had become a mermaid. So just always a mermaid. And I love swimming. I was a swimmer on a swim team as a child, and I still love, it's the only kind of activity that I exercise that I actually really enjoy. So when I think of a mermaid deck, there's something specific that I'm envisioning, and this is wonderful, but it's not necessarily obviously it's not my vision, it's somebody else's vision. I really love this deck though. I mean, obviously because it's mermaids, it's got the summer vibes for me. It's got the, it's got the watery vibes. I really love the sun card so much. I love that each of the suits is represented by a different type of mermaid clan, which I think is really cool. This moon card, this is closer to my mermaid kind of vision of mermaids, my vision of mermaids, but it's a mermaid siren. Anyway, this is a good 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, I really love the fiery mermaids and the wintry mermaids in here. That's one of my favorite hierophants. That's so good. Anyway, it's a great mermaid deck. I prefer it for its storybook kind of quality over the Dame Darcy, which has more of I don't know, I want to say 50s comic book kind of vibe, which is cool, but it's just not, it's never called to me. Anyway, the Mermaid Tarot. Yeah. I wish I could draw, because I would love to have my own. I would love to create my own Mermaid Tarot. But anyway, that is the Mermaid Tarot. Okay, here we have a brand new deck to my collection. So it's really going to just be a flip through, maybe a little bit of a first impressions, because I haven't really spent time. I haven't read with this deck yet. It's still in order. This is the Apparition Tarot deck, a Spirit Speak Tarot deck. This is indie, but I got it for a really great deal, pre-owned. So these are the backs, and it is gold gilded. This deck, I love this minimalist doodle sort of vibe that it has. I'm really into that idea right now, and it's deconstructed, but like it's the tarot deconstructed, but not the typical symbolism. It's not like a Rider-Waite-Smith deck deconstructed, because I think there's like a deconstructed tarot out there that exists, but it's like, it's, you know, it's very like, I don't know, illusionist, surrealist. That's like, there's even one card I think that's got like an Escher-esque kind of vibe to it. But this feels very playful. And that for me is what makes it feel like summer vibes, because the summer is totally like playtime to me. I'm not gonna show you the whole deck, I'll just flip through. But see, like, what is even happening here? Like, I'm so fascinated by these like deconstructed individual parts and pieces of these, you know, like there's a cow and a lighthouse, and this is the lovers, and it's like, what? I'm so fascinated to kind of like dig into these particular drawings, this art, and like some places things are small and some places things are large. This is like one of the coolest for me hermit cards I've ever seen. So I just like things that are wacky. That's what it is. It's got like such a wacky kind of like irreverent, but it reminds me of those I feel like I've talked about this before with another deck that's kind of doodly like this, but if any of you guys are like me, grew up watching Nickelodeon cartoons, and there was always in between the longer cartoon series shows, there would be these little like mini, you know, mini weird I don't even know what you call those, that like tie together in between. It's not a commercial, it's just like these shorts, you know, they're like shorts, and they were always these like weird you know, there was like music or singing, and they were always like these doodles coming to life, doing weird things, maybe teaching you, maybe, I don't know, but it was always like real out there and weird. Like even like with Sesame Street, there would be, you know, I grew up on Sesame Street as well, that there was like, I'm about to start singing the pinball song. If you know it, comment below. If you know, you know. But yeah, the number pinball song. But this is that kind of vibe, but it gives me that kind of like real but it's like an irreverent kind of thing too, because there was that like Gen X kind of vibe to those particular cartoons in the 80s that was real irreverent. Even though it was for children, it was sort of like an in your face kind of a thing. I don't know if you guys know, what I'm talking about, let me know. But that's how this feels, and it feels like summer. It feels fresh, it feels playful, it feels irreverent, it feels like, yeah, kind of like more like a tween teen kind of summer vibe, summer vacation vibe for that age group. So this is the Apparition Tarot deck, Spirit Speak deck. Okay, this is the Mother Tarot. This is a summer deck, but it's also a total, Dawn Michelle made me do it. She recently got the Mother Tarot and the Dark Days Tarot, and then I also got the Mother Tarot and the Dark Days Tarot. Mine are pre-owned copies that I managed to get for a very good deal. So the Mother Tarot, I have not yet worked with it. I did include its sister deck in here, the Dark Days, because that's not a summer vibe, at least not for me. This is a summer vibe. This little square deck. So this deck has been out for a while, you guys, and I guess I didn't know about it, or it just wasn't really on my radar, but it is so cool, so stunning. Or maybe I thought when I first saw it that it was too young for me for some reason, you know, or I don't know, it didn't fit for me or something, but I am enthralled by this colors. It's graphic, definitely in places. I love this mermaid. I really love this mermaid. But yeah, this feels like everything about it feels like life, the Mother Tarot. So it's got that earth goddess, Mother Earth goddess quality to it. But it feels very rooted in like the inner self journey as well. It feels very feminine across the board. And it's like the flowers, the landscape, this death card. Oh my gosh. The flowers, the landscape. I'm going to flip through a little bit quicker. The flowers, the landscape, the colors, the characters. It's also a little bit more like that irreverent kind of deconstructed vibe in certain cards, right? So like some of them will just be like hands, or like, you see there's like sheep just like kind of floating around. And this figure is like part of the landscape, part of the earth. Same here, like it's not like, yeah, look at this, 10 of Wands, probably maybe one of my favorites. 10 of Wands is an important card to me. Anyway, this one's not my favorite, this Page of Wands. But anyway, there's like mermaids and angels and like fairies and like earth sprite type creatures, and like, but it also feels very human. I love the color palette. Look at that 7 of Swords. Look at the mouth on this character. What is happening? And this is like a volcano. Oh, it's so good. There's a lot to kind of dive into here. I cannot wait to use this deck. Look at this mermaid with this fat mermaid tail. I love that fat mermaid tail. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Like it. Yeah, this feels like all kinds of summer vibes for me. Yeah, mermaids. Yeah, these are more like my types of mermaids. It feels more like what it felt like when I was a mermaid. When I was a mermaid. Look at that. Oh yeah. Yeah, super feminine, super cool, super lively, very, obviously full of life. That is the Mother Tarot. Okay, speaking of sister decks, these two decks are sister decks because they are both created by Joanna Powell Colbert. The artwork is. I believe that the Gaian Tarot's guidebook is also Joanna Powell Colbert, but this, the Herb Crafters Tarot, the book is written by Letitia Guthrie. Anyway, these are a pair. And I'm going to talk about these again a lot on the channel, or I may have already posted more about them, depending on when this video goes up. In any case, I'm obsessed and love these two decks, and they are all the summer vibes. It's all about the earth and growing and things alive, things coming alive, and the metaphor within ourselves and the metaphor within the herbs. And like, it's just absolutely a delight to work with these two decks. I've been working with them in tandem, so I'm going to show you them side by side. Obviously, it's the same artist, so that's one of the beauties of it. And oh, by the way, this is I trimmed my version of the Gaian Tarot. So I do have the Schiffer one, but the backs look terrible. But I trimmed it a la Don Michelle. She has a whole video on how she trimmed this. But she said that she thinks mine looks better. And I was like, stop it. Stop it, it can't be true. But that she was almost fooled into thinking that this was the Llewellyn, not the Schiffer one. And I was like, yeah, I did a good job with my mod. Anyway, I digress. This I have trimmed. So did I show you the backs of the Herb Crafters? Because it is so pretty. I love it. Like, look at all of that. That's fabulous. Okay, so both of these decks are lovely on their own, aside from each other, but together it's magical. And also, if you are not getting into the guidebooks of both of these, if you have these and you have not gotten into the guidebooks, you're missing out because there's so much good stuff in here. I have to get into the guidebook for the Herb Crafters Tarot because I have zero idea about herbs and plants and flowers, but it's so clever. Like what they've done is so clever. Sorry. Because it's very much Waite Smith inspired, both of these. And they go in order of the numbers, which is another wonderful way, I think, to have a guidebook set up, because I love, you know, taking a look at the numbers that way. And just the connections that they make between, especially in the Herb Crafters, between these herbs and the symbols. Like, it's also like the composition is Rider-Waite Smith inspired too, a bit in some cases. And then the Gaian Tarot is just like, it's so full of people and life. And I say in life, and then here's death and the Hermit. I don't know, it just, you know, it just feels so life affirming, which, would you look at this, if this is not like, you know, something that I experienced in the summer. Look at all these women, family. Oh my God, I just love it. Yeah, these decks feel life affirming. It feels active and energetic. It feels, I mean, it's outside, it's daytime, it's nighttime. Oh, look at this sun card. Like, it's just fabulous. I absolutely adore these two decks together. I love them separately, and they 100% feel like they belong to the summer, you know, summer type energy, life affirming energy, it feels like for me. So good. So yeah, so this is the Gaian Tarot and the Herb Crafters Tarot Summer Vibe decks. Okay, so there you go. Those are my Summer Vibe decks. Decks that have a summery, energetic, playful, life-affirming, life-giving, sunny, vacation, beachy, you name it, vibe. I hope that you all enjoyed that. Please tell me what summer vibe decks you have going on if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. Even if you're not, if you have summery, energetic type decks that you would like to share with me as well, go ahead and comment down below. I hope that you all enjoyed this, and I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye now.